Hey guys, this is Dad from dadsRfunny, and I'm going to be reading some comments tonight. Before we get started, I want to say that one of the things that we're always trying to do with these Q&As is to really thank you guys and to get you guys involved in the creative process, because we think about things that you guys say, and we obviously, as you've seen, incorporate them into each and every episode in either a small way or a very big way. And it's kind of a way for us to say thanks, and also to introduce different things maybe in a more measured way. So tonight we're going to break up Q&A 7 into two parts, and we're going to start with episode 15 comments in the first part, combined with, as you might imagine here, as you can see, if you've seen it before, the Painterly Pack intro screen, splash screen. So we'll be providing that for some commentary as well. And in the second part, we'll be covering really more the previous Q&A comments, as well as I'm going to leave it as a surprise for now. I don't want to say. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different in the second part of this Q&A. So we're trying different things, trying different combinations, just seeing how things turn out, and as usual, incorporating the things that you guys tell us as we go along. So the first thing you see when you look at Painterly is that, it's a low-bit texture pack, but it's got nice glass. I like the torches, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in this texture pack. I also like the brightness. Now, there's a lot of customization you can do with this texture pack. I've downloaded the original because I really didn't want to customize it, especially if you haven't seen it before. This will give you an idea of what the baseline looks like. And needless to say, I got a little digging to do down here. I wanted to expand on my little Egyptian pyramid-looking tomb area down here. But in addition to the stone and the sand, you can see that they do change, I believe, the mobs a little bit. There's the cow. Hi, cow. Looks like he's got horseshoes on. Nothing hideous, though. I really do like this texture pack. I like the cactus. Very nice, especially if you live in the desert southwest like we do. You can tell that these folks are paying attention. Now let's move on to episode 15 comments. First of all, Mies Crew says, have you guys ever thought of making your own community server for fans? It would be fun. It would be cool to see you guys there too. And with our internet situation the way it is, I don't know if that can happen, but for now, you can visit us on Ratville, and there's another server called Vanilla Server that we have visited in Sweden, I believe. And that's another great server you can go take a tour of if you'd like, and let us know if you have any suggestions as well. MiniLuck1 says you should do a video log to show your faces like a vlog. Mary is so funny and Dad is so smart. Well, thanks for the nice comments, and I wanted to let you guys know we are going to Minecon, if you haven't heard already, and we will be taking video there, and so you'll get to see us when we go to Minecon. Bulletshell1337 says, is that thing, that middle guy, says in the beginning binary? Binary code has to be divisible by 8, and there's only 7 digits, D:D. And the answer to that question, Bulletshell, is that binary can be any length. You're thinking of different word lengths, like 4 and 8 bits, 16 bits. So I don't want to get too technical and bore you guys, but binary numbers can be any length, just like decimal numbers can be any length. So, but that's a really interesting point. And also the other thing to remember is that what he's saying comes from a Rush lyric, which is, I think, called I Sing the Body Electric, which of course is taken from another reference, and so on and so on. Much like the average YouTube video. So that answers that question. And Peanut Butter 85 says, Mary is awesome, more awesome than Dad, because at least she didn't die in the 404 challenge. Well, I did die in the part 1 of 404, and that's kind of sad, but you haven't seen the second part yet, so let's not jump to conclusions. Because remember, 404 ultimately ends with no survivors, because that's kind of when the challenge ends, is when the 4th person dies, in the case of a 4-player version. Matt Strong Rock says, I feel lazy because I watched the whole series in the matter of a few hours. Nah, don't feel too bad. Happy Creeper Week, according to Mies Crew. That's pretty funny. And he says you could do a video on how to give out pointers on starting on YouTube. And I want to let you know that Aliens GT, you can look on our left sidebar on our main page, has already posted a video, which we link on our main sidebar on the left, on how to get started on YouTube. And he also has the first episode of his Landing podcast, which we're being interviewed in. So you can watch both of those videos. Blue Eyes Dragone says, did you get the creeper I sent you in the mail? And I let him know that it must have blown up in the mail. We didn't get it. Sorry. Creepers tend to do that. I don't think the post office likes it when you put creepers in the mail. Codio71 says, make the 16th episode already, which I find humorous, since I'm reading this after it has posted. 516 Star Wars says, still when you go to the nether you can die easy. Hit a pigman and all the group will try to kill you. Now I'm going to stop reading here because I don't want to hear any more about the nether. Because Dad's never been there and I want it to be a surprise. But I'll keep that in mind. XXMNightXX says, you never change the dirt stairs into wood or cobblestone stairs. And, we just can't do it. We might do it in the future, but it's so nostalgic, it's just hard to do. Awesome Guy 2502 says, crotch when you farm. That could be painful. I think he may mean crouch when you farm. That's a good thing to learn. Crotch when you farm, not so much. Also, Awesome Guy 2502 says, if you burn a pig, when it dies, it drops cooked pork chops. And all I'm going to say about that, guys, is keep your eyes peeled for flint and steel down the road. Half-Blood 2000J says, OMG, that was out of character. You should be ashamed of yourself. He's talking about episode 15, timestamp 405, where I tab out accidentally. Now, normally if that were to happen, we would edit that out, but there was a action scene that occurred right after that where a creeper blew up, and we just really couldn't edit that out. MG11399 Gaming asks if we could put pillars on the front of the house so it isn't floating. Well, we like that, so I'm afraid we can't do that. We think it's spacey and cool and groovy that our house is floating. The Gamer Guy 4 says, lol, tabbing out to spawn a creeper, speaking about that previous episode that I talked about, or instance of me tabbing out. And no, that was not me doing anything of the sort. To be honest with you, I wouldn't know how to tab out and spawn a creature if I could. So, promise you, it's totally natural. I just wish we hadn't tabbed out, because if I hadn't, or if I'd tabbed out in a different spot, we would have cut that out and then just had the glorious creeper explosion without any of the baggage. I love the show, but it's kind of aggravating how you're paranoid about creepers, skeletons, zombies, and spiders, according to MFNRTJZ. Well, hey, they're deadly. What can I say? Joe the 1117 says, I love the show and I hope there'll be many more episodes, and there will be. Flying Potato in the Sky, one of my favorite subscriber usernames, says, the ending really creeped me out and thanks so much for mentioning me in the Q&A. Half-Blood 2000J says, when are you going to go to Ratville next? And that's a great question, Half-Blood, or I'll just call you 2000J, I guess. Anyway, we're going to go, and we've been a few times. We're going to go back, and when we go again, we'll post it online on Facebook and Twitter. So I don't want to spam like everybody's channel and all their friends with informations via bulletin on YouTube. So you're going to want to get on Facebook and Twitter if you want to find out when we're going to play. I think that's a much more reasonable way to communicate, since only the people that are following us or on our Facebook as friends are going to be bothered with that information. Paper Knight asks, is the voice from Portal 2 at the end of this episode? XD, sounds like it, but yeah, great vid. No, that is not. I'll give you guys a little more information on how we do that voice in the future. That's all I can say for now. Tip, if you put torches around your garden on the top of the fence, will keep it lit at night and twice the rate of crop production. That's from 789 Zog, and that's pretty cool info. I knew that the rate was increased, but I didn't realize it was that much. Tamil55 says, I like what you're doing, and I can tell Dad's a dad by the way he's always protective of Mary. Of course, we know Dad's a dad because he's Dad, but you get my point. Yeah, very true. Very true. And there are times when I'm actually protective of Mary, and I kind of forget, and I don't want her to die. And it's kind of freaky, because then I realize it's a game, but it works out well in the show. And that's one of the reasons we're Mary and Dad's Adventures, because she calls me Dad, I call her Mary, so we don't have to remember some other name. And our relationship in the show is much like it is in real life, because she's my daughter and I'm her dad. So it works out nicely. Jesus Soccer 96 says, love the ending. That was a cool ending in 15. We thought about different ways to do it. And then you can see that, of course, we filmed it with the kind of the scream at the end and just cut it. So you don't really kind of necessarily know what happens until you watch the next episode. That's kind of the point, right? Stev Ghost says, I lolled with the robot. The Simply Sniper says, yay, :D, love the series, guys. Keep on making vids. It's getting so exciting, :D, exclamation point. Appreciate that, Snipers. You've been around a while, and we enjoy the comments. Mina Time says, the end was awesome. I'm going to become as good as you with my videos. And wow, that's a great comment. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily look to us as the hallmark of how to make a good YouTube video, but I can tell you we are getting better. All you guys got to do is look at episode 2 versus episode 15 or 16, and you can see a dramatic difference. So I will give us credit in the sense that we are improving, and therefore, Mina Time, if you are indicating there that you're going to be as good as us because you're going to try to improve, then I would agree with you. But I can tell you this, Mina Time, with a little effort, you could be better than us in no time. Ninjaness100 says, sometimes you guys are blanking blank blank. I'll just leave it at that. You can look it up if you want to. Dad needs to calm down. I didn't care for the first line, but I like the rest of this. Dad needs to calm down. Mary's old enough to take care of herself. Stop yelling at her, and I think they should film Dad does not do anything awesome like Mary. Actually, that I kind of get part of that, but it's a little bit weird. Anyway, I do think the part's funny, though, about me calming down and Mary's old enough to take care of herself and stop yelling at her, because back to the other point about safety, sometimes when Mary gets in trouble, I want her to, not to die, and I start yelling at her like she's my kid, because she is. MMan2B says, dude, I subbed, you're almost better than Yogscast. Yo, I'm sorry, but they have 1 billion views. They have like 1 billion views. Well, we love Yogscast. As far as I'm concerned, we'll never even be 1% of Yogscast in terms of what they do and what they've done for the Minecraft community. What can I say? But wow, what a nice compliment. 2000 Radden says, you're the best ever. Killjoy554455 says, great show. Mary scared me when she screamed and Dad was grave robbing. Love it, love it. And I can tell you that was a really excellent piece of audio there that Mary performed at the end. She did a kind of a grunt and then a scream, or a grunt and I think I screamed. But the grunt when she's trying to kill the skeleton is a really like someone exerting a lot of effort. Of course, all we're really doing is clicking a mouse. So it really went well with the video. Like she was really into that fight. So thanks, Killjoy. I think I agree with you on that one. 3KidSist says, OMG, you guys found a double chest, :D. They're very rare for dungeons. That's true. And it had Cocoa Puffs in it, which of course we all know is really cocoa beans. Now, Demon, or should I say Lemon and Company, says, that's why I say go to Forest. You have more than one direction to run in. Also, if you go deeper into your quarry, why not get a set or 2 of armor? I hear it's really good at stopping arrows, X parentheses. Yes, we're going to be investing in some armor. I think if you own any companies that sell armor, now's a good time to buy more shares, because we are definitely in the armor market. You'll see that happening in a couple of episodes. Nintendo1357, who by the way has given us some great fan art, go to our website under the fan art section to see it, at least a couple of pieces, says the plot thickens. The alien is really testing these two for something. It's really good. I can't wait to see what happens next. Then he makes a suggestion about the alien abducting us, like as if he hasn't already, XD. Takes you to a facility and they run more tests. See how well you are, good you are at jumping over lava pits, etc. So that's an interesting point. I'm not sure that's exactly what's going to happen, but you never know. Now, the Digicopy77 says, you are terrible at killing skeletons. I presume he's talking to me. Now, I don't know. I think I've got some ninja skills, but you guys be the judge. Kagi Production 765 says, that guy's brain is sticking out of his head. Now, a comment here. Missy Fenstrider, Missy for short, our artist, Mary's older sister, didn't like that drawing and thought that the head was really gross. And I told her not to change it, that I loved it. So I'm glad you guys think it's gross and interesting. Austin Hudson 789 says you should build a separate upstairs for storage. Yeah, interesting idea. Mandy Pandy 1652 says I recently just subscribed and love your vids. You guys are awesome, but Mary needs to be more careful. Boy, isn't that the truth. Pops 2005 says how creepily exciting. I think it was excitingly creepy, but either way. It was like watching a scary movie. The episode kind of reminded me of a movie called Descent. It had these weird creatures in it. P.S. It's a gory movie. Don't let Mary Google it. Okay, I'll make sure she doesn't. I think I've seen the trailer for that movie. Crazy Rider 751 says, is the robot going to get rid of you guys? I doubt it. But that's just a hunch. Double Advance says you guys should use mods for short films like the one where Dad and Mary's just exploring, doing some jobs. You can pretend other person's doing something when you're in single-player mode using single-player mods. Well, that's an interesting idea, but I think it might be a little hard if we have to sort of modify the save file to include items that don't normally exist and then have to reconcile that. So you can see it might get complicated. Now, RS Physician says you cursed at 1416, and yes, I did. But it was pretty funny, I thought. And so we left it in. So sorry if I offended you, but I think I said something along the lines of, now you guys who are sensitive-eared, close your ears, but I say something like, boy, I'm a greedy bastard. And it just sounded so funny we kept it. Sorry. Can you post any videos faster than once a month? Nutball, 1999. Well, listen, Nutball. We've been cranking out videos pretty much once a week in terms of episodes, so that's 4.3 per month on average. And we also do our other videos in between, which is probably 1 to 2 or 3 maybe, depending on the frequency, at least 1 or 2 in between. So that's kind of the rate we're going, and that's where we're going to stay, I think, for now. Scopion12, another frequent commenter, says, the whole house being called the mothership and aliens, does it have a connection? Suspicious glance. Well, first of all, you know, a lot of people have called this guy a robot, an android, an alien, a monster. We don't know what he is yet, so I wouldn't jump to conclusions. But it is a good idea. Zuck1990 says, cocoa beans, exclamation point, not puffs. Yes, I understand that was a joke. Sorry about that. Lol Trawl Lol says, I love your vids. Thank you for putting me in the comments. You rock, R-O-K. Is that Republic of Korea? No, I think he means, yeah, we rock. Vera Trangera says, don't walk on the soil, it's bugging me as hell. Simon Yager, another frequent commenter, says, how exciting, I can't wait for more. Thank you very much, sir. Lazy Waffle 777, another great subscriber username, says, I love these eppies, they're epic. Make a lot of them, I hope. Jim and Jake says, Jimmy here, I love your videos, guys, and I have one thing to say, 1001,001. Now, that kind of concludes episode 15, and I want to take a break here and just let you guys know we're going to continue this with a part 2, which I believe Mary and or Missy will be joining us. So thanks everyone for watching. That concludes Q&A for episode 15. More to come. Thanks guys. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.